1940s, an Austrian immigrant to America and refugee from Nazi Germany, Dr. Wilhelm Reich, made the scientific discovery of a previously unknown energy existing in the atmosphere, in space, and within living organisms. Discovered accidentally, Dr. Reich eventually demonstrated this blue glowing energy to charge up and radiate from microorganisms, plants, animals, and humans. This energy also existed in a free form within the open atmosphere and in high vacuum. He called this energy the Orgone. Orgone energy, as Dr. Reich discovered, was synonymous with life energy, long postulated by scientists and accepted as fact by ordinary people from around the world. Orgone energy could be gathered in its free form directly from the atmosphere using a device he later called the Orgone energy Accumulator. A simple enclosure resembling a large hollow capacitor, composed of alternating layers of special insulators and conductors, the Orgone Accumulator allowed a high charge of the orgone to collect inside itself, facilitating its direct study and revealing many of its properties. Dr. Reich observed the orgone energy charge in the human biosystem was expressed in emotion and sexuality and could be measured bioelectrically. A person's overall vitality and aliveness was a function of human and atmospheric orgone charge and pulsation, and this could often be increased by sitting inside the Orgone Accumulator. Orgone charge of the tissues was a fundamental component of the immune system, as revealed in the bioelectric charging of red blood cells. The Orgone Accumulator was found to boost the immune system of people who sat inside them for periods of approximately 30 minutes a day over many days, and to thereby promote health and reduce the symptoms of some diseases. So incredible were the healing effects of the Orgone Accumulator that Dr. Theodor Wolff, a pioneer in psychosomatic medicine and associate of Dr. Reich, called the Orgone Accumulator the most important discovery in the history of medicine, bar none. Another German physician has stated, "Failure to use the Orgone Accumulator in the treatment of severe burns constitutes medical malpractice." Even more controversial, Dr. Reich developed a method to run small motors with the orgone energy. He also developed orgone energy devices for affecting the atmospheric orgone and clouds to bring rains during droughts or even into large deserts. Dr. Reich demonstrated this same life energy or orgone energy in a number of carefully controlled experiments, too much to report in this short video, which allow us to make these short summary statements with reasonable scientific certainty. His publications on these subjects presented very positive results from his experimental work, but this only added to the hysterical outrage of his critics. They slandered his early research on human sexuality, called the Orgone Accumulator a sex box, and subjected Dr. Reich and his associates to character assassination and slander. Dr. Reich's work and ideas were chronically misrepresented in popular newspaper and magazine smear articles. Fraudulent information and outright lies, and without investigating his work in any serious manner, the medical establishment encouraged the U.S. Food and Drug Administration to seek and obtain a court injunction to stop Dr. Reich's research, writing, and speaking about his discovery. In a legal case which has far greater significance to American freedoms and the U.S. Constitution than the better-known Scopes monkey trial, Dr. Reich was finally charged with contempt of court for the technical violation of an obscure cosmetic labeling law. He and an associate, Dr. Michael Silvert, were sent to prison, and Dr. Reich's books and research journals were ordered banned from interstate commerce, and existing copies were burned in New York City incinerators. Dr. Reich died in prison in 1957, while Dr. Silvert committed suicide shortly after his release. victims of a left-wing smear campaign merged with organized big medicine and pharmaceutical interests. Fortunately, most of Dr. Reich's books survived and were republished. Newly republished editions of his writings are available from bookstores and internet catalogs in many different languages from all around the world. Since the 1960s, an entire new generation of scientists and physicians have investigated Dr. Reich's work, reproducing his experiments, applying them clinically, and finding them to be sound and the discovery of the orgone energy to be authentic.